Hi everybody, I'm Christian. Welcome to Pico 8 Hero. Well, welcome to Lazy Devs to be more specific. Because this is not one of our tutorials, I thought I'd interject something. I haven't been posting a video for a long time. And this is the reason why. Because this is something I've been working on in the meantime. There was a thing called the Chess Jam, where we had 1 month to be working on different games about the circle around the game of chess. It could be chess, but it could be also some kind of derivative of chess. It could be also just assets, video game assets that are chess related. And I was really excited about this. Half of the month I was gone because I was in Japan traveling and all that stuff. But I was really excited to learn that the jam was going on for a whole month, which means that I could resurrect an old project I've been working on, and this is it. I've been able to complete this project. I was able to bring it to fruition, so to speak. So a long time ago, I actually checked. I started working on this over a year ago, kind of like around the same time I started the tutorial series. So at that time, I also wanted to make a chess game for Pico 8, because if you look at explore and stuff like that, let's just explore stuff like what we have in the category of chess. If you look at chess, there is some things now. Of course, we have this, but there is some lines of action, chess. Okay, there is travel chess. There's some like these things. These are really old projects, and I'm not gonna dunk on those projects. They're beautiful projects. They're fine. They're really fine. You can move the pieces here around and stuff like that. It's great. They even have like the movements like built in, so the board recognizes how you can move a piece. That's really fine. But something that irked me when I looked through the project is none of these have AI. So they're mostly like these like two-player things or like virtual chessboards where you can move the pieces however you want. And so I saw an opportunity there. I saw like, okay, so there's some really work that has been already done. Let us vamp up. How do I get out here? It doesn't accept escape. God damn it. Let us vamp this up. Let us raise the stakes, so to speak. So that's why I've been researching how to write chess AI. There's a huge chess AI community out in the internet. People are actually doing a lot of videos about how to make chess AIs, how to program chess. Generally, writing chess AIs is kind of like playing chess itself. You're trying to figure out rules, strategies that are always valid, that will always be successful at winning in chess. You're kind of trying to put into rules what is good chess play. And I'm not a really good chess player myself, and I'm not really good at programming myself, so I had to do a lot of research. So I want to show you a little bit what I made. And I thought, like, instead of just showing you the program and being like, yeah, you can play it now, we're going to do a small experiment. We're going to see how good this chess AI is. Because this AI has been kicking my butts. I'm not a good chess player myself, as I already said, so might be rusty. I didn't actually I didn't even try. I didn't give my 100%. But generally, before I start cursing and playing against this a lot, I want to just see how good it is compared to other chess AIs. And something you can do is, I'm going to show you real quick. So this is this is our setup. So this is a website called Chess, which is really great, very popular website where you can play chess for free. And this website has the opportunity to play with a machine, and the machine that you're playing against is Stockfish. Stockfish is a very well-known chess AI, very, very strong, incredibly strong. One of the most successful chess AIs at this point. There is also like Alpha Zero or something, like the AlphaGo AI, but that runs on custom hardware and stuff like that. This is very simple, straight Windows application, whatever. So this is fine. So what we want to do is here we're gonna set up a game here, and I'm gonna move the moves from this chessboard to my chessboard, to my program, and we're gonna basically make both chess AIs play each other. I know this is a kind of like a little bit of a, let's call it not a very high-tech solution to do this. There's probably a smarter way to do this, like with maybe linking them together with some, I don't know, with some JavaScript and stuff like that. But I think this may be more entertaining, and also we can kind of watch what is happening when the two AIs are battling each other. I did already some tests. I'm pretty sure that my AI will beat Stockfish at level 1, but I'm gonna try nonetheless. Okay, so I'm gonna pick black here. There we go. And then I'm going to go back to my game. So one thing that was very important to me when I wrote this is to make it some versatile. So I still want to have like this virtual chessboard thing where you can play for 2 players. But also I want to add AI. And if you add like AIs, then it's also fun to make 2 AIs play against each other just to watch, because, chess is hard. Yeah, and you can see there's like some really nice interface going on, as I did in my Arkanoid series and my breakout series. It's very important, I think, to spend a little bit of time to put some effort into the interface, especially in the start screen. It should look nice and stuff like that. But if you look at the token count, I'm very close on the tokens, and I already did a lot of optimizations. Look at this. This is like a huge list of variables, because defining a lot of variables in one line saves a bunch of tokens. So yeah, all of the variables are basically in one huge line, and it's impossible to read it and debug it. So yeah, it's getting really complicated now. So like fixing bugs is getting very difficult, and I can't actually add any more features to this. Enough talk. But I still managed to put like my lazy devs logo and stuff like that. Good. Okay, so let's see. So Stockfish wants to go with a queen. In order to not make any mistakes, I'm going to turn around the chessboard here. And that's an interesting start by Stockfish. So basically, I'm going to talk a little bit about how chess AI works. So this is actually a well-researched topic, and that's something that you could say when I teach my students like the history of video games. You could say that one of the first video games ever created, or computer games ever created, was a chess simulator, a chess program. And that was made by Dr. Shannon Prince, I think, is his name. It was one of the people surrounding, the early computer science projects, stuff like by Turing and stuff like that. So they were working on these huge machines that were, like in their own rooms at universities, and they had to like write the programs on paper. They wrote papers about hypothetical programs, but they couldn't actually run those programs because access to those machines was so difficult. And sometimes we were writing programs for machines that actually weren't available yet, stuff like that. And so, yeah, one of the first chess things, one of the first computer games was actually a game of chess. And because somebody wrote like a paper on how to evaluate chessboards, right? And so that first computer program that could play chess was a computer program that was able to, I think, find a mate in 2 situations with a limited number of pieces, because that was a very limited machine, and you had to feed it like in the program on like tape with holes in it and stuff like that, and the output would also come out in tape. Like it was a very, I don't know all of the details about this, but I know that it was like a very rudimentary thing. It wasn't something like this where you had like a chessboard on a screen and you could manipulate it. It was a way more to the bare bones, to the metal kind of situation. So yeah, and then afterwards, people refined the system, and they kind of like invested a lot of effort to teach computers how to play chess. Because I think it's like a perfect program. It's like problem. It's barely manageable. It's just the right amount of difficulty for a programming standpoint. That's really nice. So basically what a computer chess program does is it kind of like checks all the moves. So for example, here on for white, if you go through all of the pieces, you can see all of the places that this piece could move to, right? And so what a computer program does is it tests all of these. It makes all of the moves that are possible with every piece on a board. and then sees what comes out first. And then, you know, it evaluates the board. It sees like, is this a good position? Did I capture any pieces? You know, stuff like that. But that's not enough. Then, of course, it goes one level deeper. Then to every move it makes, it also goes through opponent's pieces and also checks every possible counter move to that. Like, if I move there, you know, will this be good? Oh no, actually I will get checkmated. So that's not a good threat, you know. And it like goes down, it creates like this branching tree of possibilities, and the possibilities go very, very wide. Like it's getting into the hundreds of thousands very quickly. So at some point you have to say like, okay, like we looked far ahead enough, we don't have enough time to search all of the possibilities. So yeah, so that's how chess basically works. And then there's like, but that's, you know, that's a bare idea. There's like a lot of thought that has to go into how to represent the board in the computer space. What variables, what arrays are we using? What is an efficient way to make all of these moves? Because we're doing a lot of moves at the same time, like hundreds of thousands of moves in a second. And so yeah, there's like a lot of thoughts about that how to check, you know, how to check very quickly for various things. For example, if the king is in check, you know, how do you check for that? If the king is in checkmate, you know, that's also very difficult to figure out. I mean, it's not impossible to figure out, but how do you figure it out in a way that is efficient? And yeah, and so the funny thing is, like, one of the reasons why I did this is because I wanted to make write like a variation on chess, like a chess-based game, and I started doing it in Unity. But I realized very quickly that I'm not sure how to get started. You know, the things that I talked about, how to represent the board, how to represent pieces, how to make the pieces move in a very efficient and neat way that would lend itself well to writing a chess AI around it. I was unsure how to tackle this. And, you know, Unity is already such a big engine anyway, so it's kind of like you're already struggling with Unity, and then you kind of like don't know what to do with the chess as well. So then I decided to kind of like do like a small prototype in Pico 8. And so that's where the program initially started. And I initially wanted to add like a lot of variations. There's like lots of variants of chess that I'm very fond of. Stuff like Zach Gage's A Really Bad Chess, which is chess with random pieces. And also Dave Serlin, I think is his name. Chess 2 is also really fun. It's kind of like a sequel to chess with a lot of more pieces and different win conditions. And that's also really great, but and I wanted to implement this, but alas, I ran out of tokens. So yeah, it seems like my AI, which, you know, my AI is playing black. So it's kind of like in a bit of a disadvantage, but it seems like doing really well here right now. This was just a very bold move, but look at how many pieces it attacks at the same time. I mean, on the other hand, that's interesting. Well, it is 2 bishops ahead. White is Stockfish is 1 pawn ahead, so I don't know. Let's see. Well, actually, no longer. So actually, interesting. Come on. I have to always change the focus of the windows. That's why it takes some time. So yeah. So one thing that's very important, like I waste a lot of tokens because something that was important to me as well was making the interface fun and usable. I actually did some research and looked at some other, you know, chess variations, chess games. Oh, that was an en passant move. That's nice. So this pawn moved 2 spaces now. And that means that the black pawn can like interject here. Blank. And, you know, programming these kind of details is also part of programming a good chess AI. Like you have to make sure that all of the rules are accounted for. Oh, look at this. That's a check. As you can see, like I've invested a lot of time into like these kind of like really neat visual effects that that make it really nice to look at, you know. So, you know, there's like a neat cursor. That cursor, by the way, is stolen from Mario Paint. And also, the first thing I did, I actually sat down and, you know, pixeled in the pieces. It was very important for me, the pieces to feel like really nice and cute. for them to be like really, oh, that's a really nice thing, but also not for them not to be too elaborate. I looked at other, as I said, I looked at other programs, stuff like Chess Master. There was a chess AI for the Game Boy, for the original Game Boy. And you would think, because it was like the standard chess for Game Boy, you would think that this was a good program, but it's not. Like the chess AI I heard is really neat because it has multiple difficulty levels. But something I hated about Chess Master, it has like this horrible cursor that you control like pixel precise. So you have to like move this cursor like in this kind of like very fluid way, and so makes it very awkward to pick up the pieces. So my cursor, I decided to make it snap to the different squares. So you can like very quickly go to the other side of the board by just mashing the buttons multiple times. All right. Also, the sound effects are not unobtrusive. They're kind of like nice and cute, and because the chess master had like like this huge elaborate sound chime every time you move a single piece, and it got like on your nerves. You just wanted to turn off it immediately. So these kind of like the things that I really focused on, and you know, the fact that you saw like there's like this check text that floats in. When you get checked, like there's like this immediate feedback. Also here you can see there's some options to do the castling move, like the computer just did, and it was important for me to, you know, make like a special sign there to indicate that this is like a special type of move, so people understand, you know, things like this. Oops, there's a menu here which you can also access. You can even take back moves. So what is going on here? Okay, that was a weird move by white here because black will. Okay, so here now, here comes the drastic moves. This queen will start threatening the black queen, but black doesn't seem to be very concerned. Black just responds with a check. That's kind of nice, like putting the threat, so to speak, on white. White tries to move away with the king, but nope, we're chasing you. Huh. Oh man, what? This is crazy. Seriously? So it seems like we exchanged queens. Well, my chess AI is still ahead. I'm getting concerned that maybe I will lose against the Stockfish. Or I guess like my chess AI, will lose. Ooh, that's nice. Got the rook here. All right, 2 bishops and a bunch of rooks. Let's see if we can do this. Yup. Yeah. Let's see. There is a bit of a problem. There's one feature or one type of situations that I did not take care of in my chess AI, which is checking for, there's like a rule in chess where there's like a 3-fold repetition, the game goes to a draw. Like if a single board state repeats itself 3 times, the game ends in a draw. And I did not program that in. So maybe there's a chance that my program, my chess AI, will be oblivious to a potential upcoming draw. Oh, that's interesting. Ooh. Yeah, there's definitely some hardcore maneuvering going on here. There we go, another check. Ooh. Whew. There we go, checkmate. Oh yeah, eat crap, Stockfish. So yeah, let me save this and let's see if we can beat level 2. All right, so this is Stockfish level 2 against my own Pico Checkmate AI. Let's see if Pico Checkmate will beat level 2. So this is, you can see here in the upper left corner, I hope you can see this. You can see that my AI's level is, or the Stockfish level on the difficulty, so to speak, in ELO points is 1420, which is probably a lot more than I have. You usually say that I think like a beginner is around 800 and around 1500, that's kind of like an intermediate level, and you're getting like a pro or like a experienced player is around 2000. So to give you an idea. So yeah, one thing that is there's some chess features. There's I had to like learn a lot of like how we call it, like vocabulary around chess AIs. So there's like different types of procedures and optimizations that you'll use in chess AIs to make them play better. One of the things that I was not able to implement was the so-called opening book, which means a lot of chess AIs don't calculate the very first moves in a game. Instead, they have like an opening book, like a lookup table, or like a library of various opening or various lines that are common in openings that they can rely on, so they don't have to like invent moves from scratch, so to speak. So then they kind of really did this procedure I was talking about, where you kind of look ahead and see all possible moves and like play out all the possible moves in memory. These are things that are kind of like they take over by the mid game, but the opening is something that is governed by the opening book. Now, of course, in Pico 8, I wasn't able to really implement an opening book because an opening book takes a lot of space, and I just didn't have the space. So no opening book for me. Some other features I use, I'm using a so-called alpha beta cutoff, which is kind of like a very common, very, very popular thing where you're optimizing the search algorithm, where you leave off, you don't even look into certain moves if you already found a better move somewhere else. You know, if you already found a way to check your opponent, you don't actually check for the other moves. You kind of like fine with that move that you already found. But you know, implementing this is kind of like a bit of a pain. I'm doing something called quiescence search. So that's kind of like also interesting. Because you're looking ahead to a certain depth, like say 2 moves ahead, there is a danger for a lot of chess AIs, and a lot of early chess AIs had that problem where they kind of like push things over the horizons that they don't want to think about. For example, if you're gonna get checkmated, what they do is they will just prolong the checkmate, so they no longer see it coming, so to speak. They kind of get themselves blind to a checkmate, or they will the very last move before the cutoff, before their search is over, they would move like a drastic move that would have like huge retaliation, but you wouldn't actually see the retaliation because you are not searching deep enough to see the retaliation. So they would kind of like get blinded by their own horizon. That's called a horizon effect. And so what a quiescence search is doing, like, it doesn't just stop searching at a certain depth, but once it reaches the maximum depth, it actually checks for all of the captures. It actually sees if, okay, what happens from now on, we just like exchange all the pieces that are attacking each other. To see if you are maybe in a position where you would create an unfavorable exchange of pieces. It takes a bit more effort because you actually add a lot of checking of positions and moves on top, but makes the engine a lot smarter. All right, so let's see how this game will unfold. Oh, damn! My chess AI decided to exchange queens. Now that's interesting. It's kind of interesting that, I mean, it makes sense because my AI is actually ahead in 2 pawns, I guess. So that's a good moment to do exchange, but wow, that's a bold move. So there's one interesting thing that I think I can see working now, where so like the easiest way to evaluate the board is to just count the pieces, and different pieces have different values, and to see that way, if you are ahead or not, if this is a better position. But this is actually not really useful, like for individual moves, because you're not capturing pieces that often. So this is like a very coarse way of evaluating a board. You kind of need also something that's kind of like finely grained to kind of like evaluate a positioning of a piece, not just like if it's there or not. And so there's like these huge tables that I found where you can see, you can kind of give some additional bonus of points to a certain piece that is positioned a certain way. So for example, what is happening with the I don't know if you can see my cursor there. Can you see my cursor? You can see my cursor, that's good. So you can see this this knight. This wouldn't be a very valuable knight because he's in a corner. So there's like not a lot of places you can move to, like 1, 2, 3 places you can move to. That's not a lot of places. It would be better if the knight was like out and open like this one. This knight is a lot better. 1, 2, 3, protecting this piece, 4, 5, 6. So this is a lot better knight. So the evaluation engine gives this knight a better value than I guess this knight. There's an interesting thing that happens with a king, because at the beginning of the game, the king wants to stay in the back row because he wants to be protected by the pieces. But once you get into the end game, you get a different evaluation board for the king suddenly. Suddenly the pieces, the board spaces in the center are more valuable than on the edges for the king, because in the end game you don't want the king to be captured to be trapped in a corner. You want it to be in the center, where when it has a lot of ways to escape. And so I think my AI just moved the king over there because the queens just exchanged, and one of the triggers for the end game phase is the queens not being there. So yeah, it seems like my AI has currently gained, like there's 2 like major pieces left. I guess they're called major pieces. There's a 1 bishop against a rook. I think the rook is considered better than the bishop. And my AI has more pawns. So it has an advantage in terms of pieces on the board. But let's see if it can convert it into a victory. This is kind of like a big challenge now. Something I would love to see is my AI actually promoting one of those pawns to the queen or something. That would be really exciting. So let's see if it can pull it off. Oh, I think we're gonna see it. I think we're gonna see the promotion. Yes! So something that was also very important to me is that when the AI is playing, when the AI is operating the board, I wanted for it to look like as if it was another player. So for example, in this case where we had a promotion, and like this little menu pops up where you can pick which pieces to promote to. It was very important for me that the AI, so to speak, also operates this menu. So that's quite like a very important thing. So also you can see the AI also moving the cursor slowly to a position, not just like immediately moving a piece, taking its time. So you kind of understand what the AI is doing. It's not just like, bloop, suddenly something changes and you have no idea what is happening. Lichess, like the different chess programs, have kind of like this problem, but they usually solve this by kind of highlighting the fields, which is fine for, I think, for like a professional chess AI. But I think I want to have something more playful. So yeah. Oh, dang! Just the king left. I'm not seeing Stockfish getting away with this. Checkmate! There we go. Oh, okay. So my AI was able to beat level 2 of Stockfish. Let's see if we can make level 3. All right. So this is it. This is level 3 of Stockfish. Let's see if my AI will deal with that. So we see this is 1500. So this is considered kind of like an intermediate kind of stage. Like, okay, at this point you kind of understand chess on a basic level, more on an understand chess. You're starting to think with chess, and so to speak. All right, flipping the board. Oops. So yeah, let's see how Checkmate Hero will deal with 1500. A very bold move by Stockfish here, threatening, so to speak, my knight there, and also kind of if I move my knight away, I would be in check, so I cannot move my knight. It kind of pins my knight to the side here. So I think my AI responds correctly by bringing out the bishop. So I think it seems like maybe the AIs are kind of like nicely matched right now, because what Stockfish is doing is like it's really playing aggressively with his queen, and my AI seems not to be really able to find a good solution for this. So the queen is up there and can attack like multiple pawns, and my AI has chosen to move the knight forward. So let's see if that will pay off. Oh, this was a tense situation. It seems like both AIs are trying to kind of like deal with their queens somehow, trying to position their queens, kind of like threatening each other's queens. The queens are kind of like flying around. In the previous game, my chess AI was really eager to exchange the queens, but I think now at this point, because both have taken the same amount of pieces, I think it's not using its queen, and it's kind of like afraid of its queen a little bit. It wants to protect it. Huh. Wow. That is fascinating. Oh, I think Stockfish might have lost the knight here. No, it didn't. I guess it didn't. Or maybe it did. Yep, there goes the knight. Oh, but the bishop, out of nowhere. So if I'm right, what we're seeing here is a so-called fork. So the idea is that now my AI is attacking two things at the same time, a queen and a rook, and technically also the pawn. So kind of like the opponent has to figure out which piece it can save. And the rook is more valuable than the knight. So I think my AI would actually go for it and actually capture the rook, if even if it means sacrificing the knight for it. Yep, there we go. Oh, this might, it looks like it could be over soon. There's a nice check here. So it seems like my AI was able to pull ahead and capture some important pieces. So it seems like we are one rook and 3 pawns ahead. Like especially the pawns really hurt here. And the queen of white is not really doing too much right now. So again, this could be over very soon. Oh, now the queen has to step in to protect against this check. Oof, this might be it. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, at least 1,500 ELO points, which, wow. All right, so let's see. This was level 3. Let's see if it takes level 4. All right, there we go, level 4 Stockfish. So that's a rating of 1,700. That's a serious rating now. We're getting in a serious territory, and I'm blown away that my chess AI does this good. It's actually a little bit too good, I would say. I think I need to tone it down a little bit, because this is serious. But yeah, so I will attempt to play against my chess AI myself. I will try to beat it myself. So if you are... Oh, actually it's 1,600, so that's not a lot stronger. So I will try to beat it myself. Let's see. Like Lee Chess says I'm at 1,700, but I don't believe it. I think I'm a lot weaker. So if you think you can beat my chess AI, I would appreciate it if you record playing against my chess AI and trying to beat it. It's definitely beatable, but I would love to just see people try, and people give their best, especially human players. Like other AI beating my AI doesn't seem so interesting as an actual human player trying to. I try to get my friends who are like more experienced chess players to get to play it, but they're more into blitz chess and stuff like that. And again, generally human players don't like, especially professional players, are not really that fond of playing against AIs. I think playing against a human might be a lot more interesting, because it seems like you're connecting on a deeper level rather than just finding out the best move. Okay, so I'm gonna see how level 4 works against my AI. Oh, it seems like my AI could have found its match. Currently, we have one bishop and one knight were exchanged, but I think my AI is one pawn down, so it is actually doing a little bit worse. And now we see a check. That was a really good move by Stockfish here, moving this pawn forward because it's protected by the rook. So let's see how my AI will deal with this check. Huh, thinking about moving the bishop there. Nah, come on. Yeah. Uh-oh, this might be a setup for a checkmate. This is rough. The king is kind of trapped there in this kind of like shaft. Ooh, yeah, this might be this might be actually this is rough. Yeah, you can see my AI is actually thinking about this a lot. Oof. Oh, okay. So it has to move the queen aside, so the king has a way to escape. This was getting close for a second there. Oh, actually, my AI seems to be 2 pawns up. So although there was a close call, maybe it still has a chance. Oof, yeah, I don't like this queen moving back and forth. This is not good. Oh, now the attack with the queen here from Stockfish. Ooh, this could be close. This is a very awkward situation for my AI. Like, it's way too cramped here. I think it has to find some way here. Interesting. Moving away. Yeah, this is probably the chance to get your king in, right? Although if you get the king to the side, then you get checkmated. You could get checkmated. Ooh, that's such a weird move. Yeah, obviously. Oh man. Come on, chess AI, you can do this. What? That was bad. We're back to square one. You want to move this pawn? Seriously? Is that the thing that concerns you right now? I love, there's some really good stuff that Stockfish is doing. Like, I love the positioning of this knight, which kind of traps my bishops there, which makes this whole situation very cramped and uncomfortable for my AI. Yeah, we'll just move the queen back. Is that's what you're trying to do here? Oh, I think this might be a threefold repetition. Ooh. Yeah, not much going on here. again with a queen. But now bringing in the bishop. Oh, I don't like this one bit. You want to move this? Really? AI? Really? Is this the thing that's really helping you right now? Really? Oh, okay, yes, okay, that makes sense to me. Freeing up more spaces for the king to move. That's such an odd situation right now. It seemed like, why didn't he could have just used the pawn to attack the queen. Am I missing something? I mean, he would lose the pawn, I guess. And yeah, okay, no, then the answer would be bishop to this and then checkmate, right? Well, or losing the queen. Yeah, losing, no, it would be checkmate, I think. Or at least losing the queen, yeah. Okay. Wow, this is crazy. But hey, my AI is up 4 pawns and a bishop. Uh-oh. That's a check. Not many places to go. Oh, dang. I think we got this. No? Oh, that exchange. Oh, it's a checkmate. It's a checkmate. What? Wait. Something went wrong. I have to redo. I wait. So this. Oh yeah. Okay. I have to go like this. Yeah. This is going to be a checkmate, right? All right. So that's interesting because it seems like my AI was really up in. Oh, it wasn't. Was it up in pieces? Yeah, it had more pieces. It captured more pieces. It had still a knight, while the other guy didn't have any knights anymore. Yeah, but still it lost. So it was kind of like a positioning issue. It went too much for the individual pieces, but it was in a bad position. Maybe it didn't think too far down the thing. So yeah, so Stockfish level 4 was its limit, so 1,600 Eli points or Elo points. So I would encourage you to play this game yourself and see what's up. It's on a Pico Explore if you want to find this. So you go in Explore in Pico and you go in well, you can just look for Checkmate. It should be also in the new releases, but Checkmate. If you look for Checkmate, you will also find this. And also another thing you can also do is just to search for Pico Checkmate on the internet. I will post the list and doobly-doo downstairs here. It's on chrisman.io/pico-checkmate. You can play it in the browser, so you don't have to actually own Pico 8. I would also encourage you guys to, again, to try to beat my AI with, as a human player and record it. And I would love to see, human player beating my AI. And also, I would also encourage you to view the other submissions for the Chess Jam, because I think it was a really nice event, and you should check it out. There's some really cool games in here that I really enjoyed a lot. So there's some really cool stuff happening here. Let me also know if you want me to go to do another next tutorial with something like this, or maybe some tutorial in the future with something like this, like stepping you guys through how to make your own strategy game AI. It doesn't maybe have to be chess. It would be kind of like boring for me to just program chess again, but maybe we could do some simpler games, something like checkers. Would be maybe interesting to see how this works, to explain you all of the concepts, because they can be applied to a lot of strategy games. All right, so check out Pico Checkmate. See you next time around, guys. Bye bye.